Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we will be discussing about glycolipids. In our previous video we have discussed about classification of lipids and about in detail about phospholipids. So now we will discuss about glycolipids, which comes under the classification of complex or compound lipids. So let's start the topic. So we have already discussed that glycolipids, it consists of fatty acid, and the alcohol here is sphingosine, always a nitrogenous base and carbohydrate. As the name itself suggests, glycolipid, so it contains both carbohydrate and lipid portions. So there will be fats, that is fatty acid, carbohydrate, and one alcohol will be present, as we have seen in our classification of lipids, that is Bloor's classification. The compound lipids, they consist of fatty acid, alcohol plus additional group, because the simple lipid was consisting only of fatty acid and alcohol. So the compound lipid will definitely consist something more than the simple lipid. So it will contain, in addition to what is present in simple lipid, that is fatty acid, alcohol, there will be an additional group. So the additional group here, it will be in glycolipid, the additional group will be the nitrogen base and carbohydrate. Okay, so the carbohydrate portion here is antigenic determinant. Okay, and thus glycolipids are antigenic in nature. So it is also an important question, they are antigenic in nature. So the alcohol present are sphingosine. The sphingosine and fatty acid together, they are known as ceramide. It is important. These points are usually create confusion among the students. So be clear here, the ceramide, it consists of alcohol, sphingosine and a fatty acid. And in addition to this, the ceramide plus carbohydrate, it will give rise to the glycolipid. They are present in all membranes but are particularly rich in nervous tissue. So they are more commonly seen in nervous tissue, located on outer leaflet of plasma membrane, where they interact with the extracellular environment. Because they are antigenic in nature, so they will be present on outer leaflet of the plasma membrane. So the different roles of glycolipids, or where they act, are they act as a source of blood group antigens, embryonic antigens and tumor antigens. They serve as cell surface receptors for cholera and tetanus toxin. This was one of the MCQ question asked in one of the pre-PG entrance examination. If you will read about the different types of tumor antigens, one classification of that will be glycolipid. Means few of the tumor antigens are glycolipid in nature. So this is also important. These all points which I have written here, they have been asked in MCQ examination, in pre-PG examination. Year I can't remember, but these are all questions. Now coming to classification, these glycolipids, they are classified into two groups, neutral glycolipids and another one is acidic glycolipids. Okay, so the coming to neutral glycolipids, it consists of ceramide, which is linked to one or more sugar residue. Ceramide linked to one or more sugar residue. Again, under neutral glycolipids, there will be two subgroups, that is cerebroside and globosides. So what are cerebrosides? These are ceramide monosaccharides. These are ceramide monosaccharides. It consists of only ceramide and one glucose or one galactose, means only a monosaccharide will be present in addition to a ceramide. So they are the simplest glycolipids, simplest neutral glycolipids, or these are the simplest glycolipids. Under this, if it contains galactose, it will be called as galactocerebroside. If it contains glucose, it will be known as glucocerebroside. The galactocerebroside are found in plasma membrane of the neural tissue, nervous tissue, and glucocerebroside are found in plasma membrane of non-neural tissue. So as galactose, if you read about the carbohydrate monosaccharides, these galactose are known as the brain sugar. So from here we can understand why it is known as brain sugar, because it combines with the lipid part, or in the glycolipid, or in particular cerebroside, or I can say galactocerebroside, it is present in nervous tissue in more quantity, so they are known as the brain sugar. So this is the role of galactose in our neural tissue, brain sugar. It is also one of the MCQ. If the MCQ level is little bit easy, then it will be asked which of the following is the brain sugar. Then coming to globoside, one is cerebroside and one is globoside. Here there is only monosaccharide, here there will be oligosaccharide, means ceramide plus oligosaccharides are present, means 2 or more sugar will be present. Either mostly it will be D-glucose, D-galactose or N-acetyl D-galactosamine. Like lactosyl ceramide, it consists of ceramide plus lactose, that is glucose plus galactose, lactose. Forceman antigen, ceramide, glucose, 2 molecules of galactose, 2 molecules of N-acetyl D-galactosamine, means 5 molecules of glucose will be present. 1 glucose, 2 galactose, 2 molecules of N-acetyl D-galactosamine. So this is all about neutral glycolipids. Consist of cerebroside, globoside. Cerebroside simplest form, so it will contains only one monosaccharide, either glucose or galactose, and globoside it will contain oligosaccharide, glucose, galactose or N-acetyl D-galactosamine. Now coming to acidic glycolipids or glycosphingolipids, it will be ganglioside and sulfatides. So the ganglioside, it consists of ceramide plus NANA, N-acetyl neuraminic acid, also known as sialic acid. Important, N-acetyl neuraminic acid, also known as sialic acid. And sulfatides, it consists of ceramide plus sulfatides or sulfates, sulfate group. They are acidic, means they are negatively charged. They are acidic means they are negatively charged, or and the negative charge is provided by the NANA or N-acetyl neuraminic acid or sialic acid, or by the sulfate group. So due to the presence of these two groups, this type of glycolipids are acidic or acidic in nature, or negative charge, or they are present as negative charge. Now what are gangliosides? They are the most complex glycolipids, and they are isolated from ganglion cells, neuronal bodies, dendrites, spleens, RBCs. So these are the various sites from which they are, in which they are present, and highest concentration is found in gray matter of the spinal cord. It consists of fatty acid plus alcohol plus carbohydrate. Long chain fatty acid, alcohol will be sphingosine, as it is a glycolipid, and glycolipids contains sphingosine alcohol. And a carbohydrate, so carbohydrate will be glucose, galactose, NANA and N-acetyl galactosamine. NANA, that is sialic acid. Around 30 types of gangliosides have been isolated from the brain tissues. 30 types, and important types are GM1, GM2, GM3, GM4. These are the important types of gangliosides which are present. So how this notification, or what are the different terms, M, G, numericals, what they indicate? G stands for ganglioside, M, T, D, Q, they are the number of molecules of N-acetyl neuraminic acid or the sialic acid. Okay, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, it indicates the number assigned on the basis of chromatographic migration, means how they migrate, according to it the number is present. So these are the different types of gangliosides which are important. Now what are sulfatides? They consist of ceramide plus sulfate group, and they are more abundant in the white matter of brain. Ganglioside present in ganglions, which are the gray matter, and sulfatides are present in white matter of the brain tissue. So this is all about the biochemistry about the glycolipids. I will explain once again. Consist of fatty acid, alcohol. The alcohol will be sphingosine here, that is an amino alcohol, nitrogen base, and a carbohydrate group, as the name itself indicate, glycolipids. And the carbohydrate is antigenic in nature, now present on the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane, act as like blood group antigens embryonic antigens, tumor antigens. Also cell surface receptor for cholera and tetanus toxins. Then two types, neutral and acidic type. Neutral type, again they are of two types, cerebroside and globoside. Cerebroside contains, these are the simplest, consist of ceramide plus a monosaccharide. Globoside consists of ceramide plus oligosaccharide. Then acidic, they are again of two types, ganglioside and sulfatides. Ganglioside consists of ceramide plus sialic acid. Sulfatides consist of ceramide plus sulfate group. Okay, so this is important thing about neutral and acidic glycolipids. Now coming to the clinical aspects or the various metabolic disorders associated with the defective metabolism of these glycolipids. First one is Gaucher's disease. This part is very important from MCQ point of view or pre-PG examination. Lots of questions are asked from these topics. So first one is Gaucher's disease. It is a lysosomal storage disorder. What happens? Normally glucocerebroside, it is broken down by the enzyme beta glucocerebrosidase. From the substrate, the name is there, beta glucocerebrosidase to ceramide plus glucose. It is broken down to ceramide plus glucose. Now this enzyme is deficient in the Gaucher's disease, and what happens? So the glucocerebroside will increase in our body, and it will accumulates in the reticuloendothelial cells like spleen, bone marrow, liver, brain. In the sites this will be accumulated. Inheritance will be autosomal recessive. Biochemical basis or biochemical features: increase acid phosphatase level, iron store will be increase angiotensin converting enzyme, and decrease of clotting factor 9. So this will be seen. Bone marrow, Gaucher cells will be seen in the bone marrow, that is in peripheral smear. Gaucher cells will be seen. What are Gaucher cells? When you observe under the microscope, it will appear, the cells will appear in the cytoplasm. Rod shaped striated inclusion bodies will be present, which are composed of glucocerebrosides. Clinical features: both adults and infants are affected. Infancy, the acute onset, rapid course of the disease. Infant lose weight, fails to grow, progressive mental retardation, hepatosplenomegaly will be seen. And adults, splenomegaly, bone pain will be there due to replacement of the marrow cells with Gaucher cells, leading to anemia, leukopenia or thrombocytopenia. So this is about the Gaucher's disease. This is not very much important, but I have, as I was going through different books, I found this, so I have collected it here, or I have written it here. So what are important points in Gaucher's disease? It is a lysosomal storage disease, lipidosis or lipid disorder, lipid metabolism disorder, defect of enzyme or deficiency of enzyme beta glucocerebrosidase. So the glucocerebroside will be accumulated and it will be deposited in the reticuloendothelial cells of the body. Gaucher cells will be seen. And treatment will be enzyme replacement therapy. Coming to another lipid metabolism disorder, Tay-Sachs disease or GM2 gangliosidosis. What happens is there, gangliosides, hexosaminidase A deficiency, N-acetyl galactosamine. So what happens? Normally gangliosides, when they are broken down by the enzyme hexosaminidase A, it will liberate N-acetyl galactosamine. But in the absence of this enzyme, particular enzyme, this GM2 ganglioside are not degraded and they are accumulated in brain, as they are present mostly in brain. So they are accumulated in brain and nervous tissue. Inheritance will be autosomal recessive. See, all the this disorders, metabolic disorders, are usually autosomal recessive in nature. Mostly there will be few exceptions. We will discuss about that in further topics. So clinical features, it will be as there will be accumulation of these lipids in brain and nervous tissue, so it will lead to development of idiocy, means there will be low IQ of the child, and blindness in infants soon after birth. Due to widespread injury to the ganglion cells in cerebral cortex and retina, there will be damage to cerebral cortex and retina, so it will lead to low mental IQ and blindness. This is a characteristic feature and an important question also. Cherry red spot about the macula, which is pathognomic feature of this disease, Tay-Sachs disease, due to destruction of retinal ganglion cells. So this is important MCQ question. Macrocephaly, seizure will be seen. Prognosis usually is bad for the disease. So the Tay-Sachs disease, you have to remember mostly about the different enzyme deficiency which leads to this particular disease. So here the deficiency is hexosaminidase A. Another type of gangliosidosis is Sandhoff disease. This is deficiency of enzyme, both hexosaminidase A and B both will be deficient, and in Tay-Sachs disease only hexosaminidase A will be deficient. All the above features will be present, plus hepatosplenomegaly and skeletal involvement will be there in the Sandhoff disease. Now next one is metachromatic leukodystrophy, or MLD in short form. This is due to disorder of sulfatates metabolism. Enzyme deficiency will be aryl sulfatase A or sulfatase. Two names for the same enzyme, sulfatase or aryl sulfatase A. Deficiency of this enzyme will lead to metachromatic leukodystrophy. Clinical feature in infants, CNS involvement will be there, as these are present in the white matter of brain. Difficulty in speech, locomotion, paralysis. In adult there will be psychiatric manifestation, dementia. So what you have to remember in this disorder, that is Gaucher's disease, Tay-Sachs disease, usually asked is the which enzyme is deficient in this particular disorder. A few important clinical features like cherry red spots, which are pathognomic or characteristic feature of this disease, all these are usually asked. So this is all about the glycolipids. In another topic we will discuss further about the lipids, whatever portion has been left. And if you are having any doubt, please let me know in the comment section below, or if you want any other topic, you can also tell me about that. I will try to make video on that particular topic also. So this is all about today's topic, that is glycolipids. Thank you. Bye bye.